Hey tankers, and welcome back to World of Tanks with PR154. Doing something a little bit different here at the Australian Armour and Artillery Museum in Cairns, Queensland, Australia. Now we're taking requests on vehicles in their exhibit that you'd like to see us do a brief walk around through. Our first request comes from Awesome Source 2169, who wanted to see the German 21cm Morser 16, which is appropriate that we start here because it's one of the first items in the collection that you run into upon entering the museum, although it did take me a little bit of scouring to find it because it's actually right near the front entry and a little bit out of sight from internally. The 21cm Morser 16 was a heavy howitzer used by Germany in both World War I and World War II. It was a development from the earlier 21cm Morser 10 with a longer barrel, a gun shield and other refinements. One of the key refinements being that it was able to be transported in a single piece. Originally Morser 10 and earlier versions of Morser 16 needed to be broken into two pieces for transport. The gun fired a 21cm shell that weighed 113 kilos, was intended to destroy trenches and relief columns approaching the front line. It also had an armour-piercing shell which weighed 121 kilos, with another 12 kilos of TNT packed inside, with which it could attack heavily fortified positions. The barrel length was 14.5 calibers, which was 2.67 metres or 8 foot 9 inches overall. It could manoeuvre between 6 degrees of gun depression up to 70 degrees of elevation, with 4 degrees of lateral traverse. A skilled crew could get up to 2 rounds per minute out of this gun. The shell exited the barrel with 393 meters per second of muzzle velocity, and that could throw the shell out to up to 11.1 kilometers. These guns remained in frontline use with the Germans until they were replaced by the 21cm Morser 18 in about 1940, and afterwards they were used for training, although some equipped units in secondary theatres. The Swedish bought 12 examples from the Germans in 1918 and they remained in service until 1950. The Finnish also bought 4 of these guns from the Swedes during the Winter War against Russia, but they didn't actually participate in the war because the Finns didn't have tractors capable enough to lug these 7-ton guns around the battlefield. Now, though by the time the Second Finnish War rolled around, they did manage to get the tractors able to lug the guns around, and the guns remained in service with Finland until the late 1960s. This particular exhibit dates back to the First World War. It was captured by the 45th Battalion of the Australian Imperial Force at Guns and Wood, south of Morcourt in France, on the 8th of August 1918, and was shipped back to Australia in March 1921, where it was presented to the Waverley Municipal Council by the New South Wales State Trophy Committee. The gun stayed at Waverley Park and was removed to be melted down in 1965. It was rescued in a rusted state with its gun shield missing from a scrapyard by the late Mr. Monty Wood, a world-renowned author and militaria collector from New South Wales. Basic preservation activities have been undertaken and it's hoped in the future it will be restored back to its original state. So I'll be here at the Australian Armour and Artillery Museum for the next couple of days. They have a phenomenal catalogue here, which is the largest collection of armoured vehicles and artillery in the Southern Hemisphere. So do check out the link in the description below that lists the full list of exhibits that the museum has on display, and let me know in the comments which vehicles in the collection you'd like me to cover over the next couple of days while I'm here. In the meantime, happy tanking and take care out there.